Mascanoma.
Oh, is that near?
Yeah, that's in Kentucky.
Okay, but that's not a. You wouldn't have an option to use that school.
I think so.
Because I never knew how to.
Governor Jeff? But that's, you know, to get the grades, they think it's
Light it.
Of the 1984 Runkle 8th grade. We're very proud of all of you today. We're very proud of your parents. I want to begin by noting that every year at graduation, we not only graduate 8th graders, we graduate a number of families. And it's with regret that we say goodbye this graduation to Bader, Borden, Gurian, O'Reilly, Peterson, Duncan, Rugar, and Sadov. Three parents who have played a very important part in Runkle and in Runkle PTO activities over the year, and that's Mrs. Goodman, Mrs. Gazalian, and Mrs. Carr. So thank you and best wishes. And now I want to direct some comments to the class of 1984. This is the first of what will be many graduations for all of you. 4 years from now, in 1988, you'll be graduating from high school. 8 years from now, in 1992, that's no more time than the time that you have been at Runkle or in elementary school, you'll be graduating from college. Most of you know that another word for graduation is commencement. Most of you also know that commencement means the beginning. So it's every graduation that you experience is really a beginning of a new set of experiences. You're going to be faced with a lot of decisions. Decisions about courses to take, decisions about activities in which you have to decide whether or not you want to participate.
The time has finally come to bid Runkle goodbye with greatly mixed emotions, specifically relief. As a kindergartner walking past the third floor classrooms, I couldn't imagine ever becoming a mature 8th grader, taking the place of those people I saw in the 7th and 8th grade classrooms. It made my stomach churn, but as the years passed and teachers gave me more tools to work with, it became self-evident that I would be able to conquer those early fears. Through 9 years of schooling at Runkle, I had the opportunity to grow physically, mentally, and socially mature. I feel Runkle has helped me to build a very positive foundation for my future.
Dr. Sleeper, teachers, friends, and parents. I came here from Israel, and after 1 year of living here in Brookline and learning in Runkle, I've seen and I can compare more or less the United States to Israel in many aspects. Although they're very different in many ways, they're also alike in some ways. Both the United States and Israel are like a melting pot. That's when people from different nationalities come together to form one nation and one country. In America, it's the English, the Irish, the Mexican, the Chinese, and many, many more who came and became all Americans. In Israel, it's Jews from all over the world who came and formed one country, and we're all Israelis. I think another thing that makes the United States and Israel very much alike is the pioneer spirit, the will to build a new country for a new nation from just about nothing, like the Pilgrims who came to the United States with nothing but their knowledge, their two hands, and their willpower, and formed a new country.
Elizabeth Christopher.
Thank you. Oh, welcome. When I came to the school, my age was 5. Boy, was I happy to be alive. Wow, going to school, what a treat. Even the food was okay to eat. I would play with friends from start of day to end. And when I was 7, I even thought school was heaven. In 3rd grade homework, well, I'm a big kid, to be bringing work home as my older brother did. Then when I was in 6th, as well as in some cliques, more was expected of me, as that I could see. In 7th, or junior high, as they say, the excitement was brought once more to that day. In 8th grade, it was time to mature, to prepare for the high school, which I shall adore. In 9th grade, there's a lot of work, I was told. I know, I'm ready, I'd scold. The experiences I've had here, of course, all very dear. Being a part of this school is like a treasure or a jewel. And now it's time to say goodbye, and deep inside I want to cry. But there are new things to attain, which lift my heart above the pain. When I leave for new goals to achieve, I will never forget the happiness this school projects. And I want to thank you all who have been a part of my life for the past 9 years, and for all the fine memories.
I believe what is important to talk about is what will be done with the knowledge that has been gained here. Over the last 8 years that I've spent at Runkle, I have not only learned math, social studies, English, and science, amongst others, but I've learned things that will be far more useful to me in life. Ever since I was young, starting my schooling at Runkle, I've been very influenced by my teachers' opinions and their handling of other people. Also, I've gotten used to living in the atmosphere of very many people with the same rights as I. This atmosphere gave me the opportunity to become friends, these friendships which I'm sure will last through high school. So much time has been spent here at Runkle, growing and changing, that it is impossible for me not to be affected by some of the ideas that run strongly through this school, such as learning to get along with people from different backgrounds and with different opinions than me, respect for authority, and decency towards others. Although it seems I've not yet mastered the lesson.
Welcome, fellow classmates, teachers, Dr. Sleeper, Dr. Slater, family, and friends. Since moving to Brookline and coming to Runkle, my life has changed a lot, and I have changed a lot. A lot of this has to do with my family, my friends, and my teachers. Even though I've had some bad experiences here, I've had more good experiences, and I'm a lot happier. I've learned a lot, and if I could change these past 2 years in Brookline, I wouldn't change a thing, because you learn from your good and your bad experiences, and you become a better person because of this. People are always asking, what is your outlook on life? My outlook on life is trying to be happy and learning from people and from experiences.
We learn from each other, and maybe a teacher and a student are just two friends. During the course of the past 2 years, my family and I have had to go through some very rough times concerning different aspects of our lives. Through it all, though, we became closer and happier as a family. Life was different for us now because my parents were divorced, and my two sisters, my brother, and I were living with my mother. We had to go through some very hard times concerning this, but the thing is that we could laugh about it and joke about it, and we had a lot of fun. Laughing and joking about things has to do with our everyday lives. If we can look at the bright side of things, we can get through it all easier. When I think of how Runkle was a part in these changes, I think of how the teachers seem more like my friends, and how most of the kids were great, and how I had more fun in this school than I had in any other school. When I think of Runkle in this comparison to the school I went to in Newton, I would pick Runkle any day. Here, even though some of us don't believe this, the teachers really care. They want you to do well, they help you when you need help, and they'll talk to you if you need to talk to them, for any reason at all.
To all those familiar with our grade, we wanted to use this moment to express our gratitude to all those people who helped to put us where we are today. Though our years there have been short, there were times we will never forget or would never want to. As a grade, we really had our ups and downs, starting unfortunately with the downs and getting progressively better. We weren't the most cooperative of classes at times, and we got quite unruly on our days. But we feel that you can't make any improvement if you don't start off badly.
I've only been here 3 years, and my friend has only been here 2. We switched here out of other Brookline schools looking for more structure and more social life. Well, we sure found the latter. We also found some great friends, both in each other and with the rest of our class. We have a very close-knit grade, and we are proud of that. As a grade, everyone has had their difficulties because we are close, but because we are close, we are able to overcome them. We want to say thanks to everyone in the school, teachers, Dr. Sleeper, and other staff for giving us many more chances than we deserve. We also think everyone, teachers included, will recognize that as a class, we have matured a great deal in 2 years.
Danny Weiner.
Completing elementary school means different things to different people. To me, it signals the end of a more carefree period of my life and the beginning of one with much greater pressure and responsibility. Now it seems so easy to me to be a second grader whose worries are so meaningless and knows nothing of what the world has in store for him. However, to that second grader, the worries are very important and there are plenty of fears. The things that I worry about now will seem so trivial in 15 years when I'll have much greater responsibilities. Everything is relative, and today's problems always seem the most important. Change is always difficult, and that's what makes leaving Runkle so hard. Some of us have been here for up to 9 years, and it's hard to imagine going to school anywhere else. I've grown up with many of the kids here, and seeing them almost every day for 8 years makes them like brothers and sisters. I'm not only losing the kids, but also the comfort and familiarity of a small school. It's easy to get around, and I know most of the kids and staff. Next year, I'll be in a giant building that at first will be full of strangers. That is a social change, but there will also be an academic change. There will be much more work at a faster pace. I won't be in a situation where all the teachers know me well and are always trying to help. The effort will have to come from the student. Hopefully, Runkle has given its students the motivation to do this and to take advantage of the fact that we are going to one of the best high schools in the country. A few years ago, all these changes seemed impossible, and I didn't see how I could make it through them. Leaving Runkle and an entire phase of my life behind seemed scary from afar, but as the time drew closer and I matured, it became easier to accept what would happen. Now that I stand on the brink of the change, I feel that I'm ready and even looking forward to it. Being ready for the change can be partly credited to the experience that I've had at Runkle. I feel that through my years here, I've received an excellent education, and nearly all the teachers have allowed me to push myself to do all that I could. I also think that a great deal of credit should go to my parents for their encouragement and help. Their constant stress on always doing my best has allowed me to do just that. A lot of maturing socially comes from interaction with others at school, but it also comes from parents' guidance and setting a good example. I think both Runkle and my parents have done a good job in that respect. Through both enmity and friendship, I've learned to deal with the people around me at Runkle. I'd like to thank some of the teachers that I've had through the years specifically. Miss Cohen and Miss Williamson, who was then Miss Humphrey, started my years at Runkle on the right track, and Mrs. Oldenburg helped complete my younger years at Runkle and give me the basic knowledge that I would need to move it into junior high. Mr. Lerman advanced my math skills greatly by constantly challenging me. He also gave a lot of his time to help us on a project that some of us did this year. Miss Botsford has been here for all 8 of my years and has helped my reading selections greatly. 7th and 8th grade teachers are especially important because you have them for 2 years and it's like a practice for high school. The fact that each one of them taught in a different special way provided some variety. Ms. Kimball taught us French very well, and from what I hear, she put us ahead of the town for next year. Though her fast-paced was at times frustrating, it turned out for the better. In Ms. Brodsky's class, we were introduced to the basics of science, which prepared us for next year. Mr. Kelly taught us a variety of history and presented it in a way that we could understand. He also led discussions in which we analyzed our subject objectively and in depth. He has taught me to understand what goes on in history in today's world in a deeper way. I will also miss those morning homeroom talks on everything from politics to Celtics games. Mr. Lamb taught us to get more out of what we read and see deeper into literature. The class was made all the more enjoyable by his joking and his warm and friendly personality. Only Mr. Walsh can take the always boring subject of math and make it bearable, if not fun, with his joking and teasing. He also explains difficult concepts in a way that they can be understood. He puts in a great deal of effort and is always trying to help. He's in school every morning and every afternoon to give help to anyone who needs it. I'd also like to thank Malcolm Wynn for his job as our gym teacher and for being a great guy. He made the trip to Riverside Monday a lot more fun. It will be a long time before I forget how he led 20 of us on one last Runkle ride on the Cyclone roller coaster. The elementary school years are extremely important in influencing a child's character and future. I feel that Runkle, this community, and my parents have all done a great job at setting me on the right track. I'd like to thank all the staff and everyone who's helped me make these good years for me at Runkle. Thank you.
Maya Rabinowitz.
Dr. Sleepers, teachers, and my friends. 2 years ago, I arrived in America from a job. I came to Runkle School and knew nobody. I felt really scared. I hardly knew English, and the teachers know I hardly spoke English in class. But today I'm making a speech. These 2 years have flown by so quickly, but I can only say that being at Runkle School has been a great experience. I want to thank all my teachers for their help and my friends for their encouragement. I hope you have a great time in high school. I'm going back to Israel, so goodbye to you.
Well, I'm very impressed with all the speakers, and it confirms my own statements that you are indeed ready, and we congratulate all of you. Once again, the 8th grade chorus.
And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came, and go round and round and round in a circle game. Then the child moved and turned round the season.
This 8th grade class has chosen the Dean of the Runkle faculty, Mr. Walsh.
You hear that? You think this is a 9-year honeymoon, believe me. For the faculty, believe me. Hey, we've had 9 years, and we're proud of it. And we say, at this time, you know, it's going to be goodbye, when we graduate, you know. But hello, alumni. We expect to see you come back and see us. Say hello. Tell us how well you're doing. Because parents, teachers, and faculty, and all of us, we have a big investment. Thank you very much. See you.
Now we have some awards. First award we present is the Helen Kent Award. The Helen Kent Award is awarded in each elementary school in Brookline. It's awarded to an 8th grader for the spirit of intellectual curiosity, a commitment to reading, and excellence in written expression. We're pleased to award it at Runkle to Danny Weiner. Mr. Kelly will present the Social Studies Awards.
The Social Studies Award is presented to two students whose interest and knowledge of history and politics raised the level of classroom discussion and who both worked their highest capabilities this year. I am proud to give this award to Peter Duffy and Ethan Zindler.
The last award that we present is a special Runkle School Award. Each year at Runkle School, we present an award to that 8th grader who, in the judgment of the faculty, has demonstrated outstanding qualities of character, citizenship, and leadership while at Runkle School. We're very pleased to present this year's Runkle School Award to Michelle Ergo. Our guest speaker this year is a parent of a member of the graduating class. After all, we speak as teachers, as faculty. There's another group of folks who have had some investment, some interest, some concern in your progress over the years. And we always ask one of those people to come and represent that interest at Runkle School. We're pleased this year to present as our parent speaker, Mrs. Elaine Gurian.
Rehearse the speech often. I have never gotten through the whole thing without weeping. I hope to do much better during this presentation. It is customary, I think, at times like these, for some grown-up to tell you, the graduating class, about the world and prepare you for it. I remember those speeches well, because whenever I had to go to one, I never listened, fidgeted, counted light bulbs, or whatever was handy, and decided if I liked the way the speaker was dressed. I'd like to pause and tell you that my daughter dressed me, and so if you don't like the way I'm dressed, you can complain to her. Now it is my turn to speak, and I regard this speaking engagement as one of the great honors of my life. I hope that I will neither bore you nor embarrass my daughter, who can only be sitting here with a mixture of pride and anxiety. I have seen some of you grow up for 9 years. I want to talk about what I learned from you and from other children as well. You must remember that for all your lives, you have had parents, and so have probably assumed that they were experienced in their parenting. Actually, we parents learned our job on the job. Before our first child was born, we were only regular people and children ourselves. It is you, the children, who made us into this. And even if you are not the eldest, you are different enough to have posed new challenges and new adventures for us. Everyone but them has all the right things. I have felt saddened to learn, after all these years, that it is not necessarily adults who teach these things to children, but children who impose terrible rules on each other.
We are now pleased to award our diplomas to the class of 1984. Will the first row please rise? Aaron Foster. Maya. Will the second row rise? O'Reilly. Peter Duffy. Blanchett. Danny Weiner. Jonathan Shiloh. Joshua Sadar. Sarah Beda. Those of you that have never been with us, and even some of you that have, the words are on the front page of the program. We will all rise. After we conclude the alma mater, we will ask the audience to remain standing while the graduates depart, and then we invite you for some refreshments in front of the building.
I'll take it, Danny.
Jesus, Ron, and he's got the camera and you won't take one thing.